Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Desert Sky Adventures, and welcome back to Tombstone. As you can see, Jennifer is back with me today, and we're very excited today because we're finally getting a chance to check out the Gunfighter Hall of Fame and Museum, which is right behind us here, something that we have not done before. But I've heard from plenty of the locals that this is a really cool museum, and we're really looking forward to checking it out. We're going to bring you along with us. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our little tour of the Tombstone Gunfighter Hall of Fame and Museum.
And before we go inside, let me just say I apologize for the glare and the reflection in a lot of the footage in this video. These artifacts are very old, and over time the ultraviolet light will damage them, so they're purposely kept in a low light situation. Some of the stuff was a little hard to film, but before you go inside, you see a nice collection of screen-used Winchester rifles that were used in the making of Tombstone. There's also a copy of the screenplay there, and some screen-used boots that were worn by Powers Booth. He played the part of Curly Bill in the Tombstone film. Inside the building now, and this is a pretty decent-sized museum. It is chock full of Old West history and Old West Hollywood history. But even if you're not a Clint Eastwood film aficionado, you might recognize some of these things from the Back to the Future trilogy. They have a number of items that were used by John Wayne, screen used. Here we see some more items from the movie Tombstone, including Wyatt Earp's Colt 45 there, but a very impressive collection of screen-used items from the Tombstone movie. You can also see some items used in the movie Route 10 to Yuma. And Young Guns. But there's a lot more to this museum than just Hollywood history, and the curator of this museum is happy to tell you about it.
Stayed with him for the rest of his life, buried him. She outlived him by 16 years. That's her there. This is them in Los Angeles in the 1920s. She lived to be 83. That's her in 1944. She died in 1944.
Wow.
And, that movie star, William S. Hart. There's where Wyatt Earp was born. He was born in Illinois. That's what he looked like when he was 21. Full head of hair, huh?
Yeah, I've seen that one before.
Yeah. Good. You know what's cool about that newspaper there? Besides, May 10th, 1881, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The governor of New Mexico places this ad in the paper, $500 reward on Billy. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You could buy a beer for a nickel, a revolver here for $17. I mean, that was a lot of money, $500. Now, if Billy's in town in Santa Fe on May 10th, 1881, when this newspaper was made, you could go over here to the saloon and order a Budweiser. That'd make a great Super Bowl commercial, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Billy the Kid ordering a Budweiser in 1881. Yeah. He was 13 years old when he was with a wagon train going across Kansas. The Sioux Indians attacked, killed everybody, burned the wagons, shot him, scalped him, left him for dead. He was 13 years old. He survived. He lived to be 49.
Oh, wow.
That's why they took his picture, just as a survivor of the scalping.
Wow.
You know?
They have a lock of General Custer's hair. And some items that once belonged to Billy the Kid. They have Wyatt Earp's Colt 45.
You want me to lift this case so you get
Sure.
a shot at it like that? You know?
Yeah. Very cool. And is that the hat, Wyatt Earp's hat from the movie?
No,
or is
that's
somebody else's
Johnny
hat?
Ringo's
Johnny
hat.
Ringo's
That's
hat.
Johnny-
Okay, I was gonna say
That's
that.
Johnny Ringo, this guy right here, that's his hat.
Yep.
Oh, he disappeared too, right there.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Here we see some items that once belonged to Buffalo Bill. Now, I have been in quite a few Old West museums, and I gotta say, this one is probably the most impressive I've ever seen. I mean, the stuff just goes on and on and on, and it is just so impressive. It must have taken a long time to accumulate all of this stuff. They have a whole collection of items that once belonged to Johnny Ringo. have some Bonnie and Clyde memorabilia in here, including an original newspaper. They even have some weapons that once belonged to Bonnie and Clyde. Very impressive. And in my opinion, probably the most impressive stuff in this museum, the items that belong to Doc Holliday. I've seen this image passed off for Doc Holliday many times, but this is not Doc Holliday. This man's name is John Escapule. This is without a doubt the most impressive collection I've ever seen. You could easily spend a half day in here if you wanted to read everything in every case. And it would be well worth your time, but I'd heard this was a great museum, and it definitely did not disappoint. This Gunfighter museum is just amazing. It's like a time machine walking through here. You really do get a feel for how they lived, how they worked, how they thought, how they died.
All right, thanks a lot. Very cool museum.
great museum.
I think I agree with the people I've heard that said it was the best one. I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah. I came to Tombstone to see cowboy stuff. This is someplace I'd want to see, you know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I wouldn't want to play miniature golf or that stuff, you know? Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so that was our look at the Gunfighter Museum. What did you think?
That was
Very cool, yes. It must have,
nice stuff in there.
yeah, it must have taken a long time to put that collection together, but very impressive. If you come down here, definitely recommend coming and checking out the Gunfighter Museum. It's only $8, and there's a ton. I mean, gosh, I could have spent another couple hours in there just reading everything. I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for coming along. Do me a favor, if you found it interesting, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. It doesn't cost you a thing. So until next time, from the Gunfighter Hall of Fame, Tombstone, Arizona, we'll see you down the road.